Welcome. We're looking at and reading Dragon Magazine number 89. I'm Matthew Jordan, and with me is...
Hi, I'm Jason, here to read Dragon Magazine.
Hey, I'm Matt Stanton.
And I'm Adrian to learn a lot about Dragon Magazine, hopefully.
Well, you should come to the wrong place.
Let's see how much we learn here. All right, a tattered copy came in the mail, but we'll make do. What do we got? A catalog of Raul Partha. Is that not...
Yeah, we discussed them last week. The Raul Partha continues the Leaden Empire.
Yeah.
Do you remember? I was thinking about them more this week. I can remember playing with Raul Partha figures as a kid, and even as a kid, afterwards thinking I should really go wash my hands. This can't be good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
knew people.
I just
who
lick
made
my
their
fingers.
own.
Now I can't do math.
I knew people who made their own. I haven't looked them up to see how they're doing, but it can't be good. Just smelting your own lead.
I said last week, you could drag one of those figures across a piece of paper and write with them, and if you held them for too long in your hand, you'd get this gray residue on your fingers. And I remember thinking, I'm a dumb kid. Even I knew I should really go wash my hands. This can't be healthy.
Can't be good. Yeah. All right, so another full-page ad for the.
So what is interesting about the Raul Partha ad is there's a lot of sculptures by Julie Guthrie, and she's actually still actively sculpting miniatures today. I think she did some for the Bones releases from Reaper Miniatures.
So those are nice.
Yeah, so she's making a go of it with a career in miniature sculpture.
That's fascinating.
You know what's funny is I can remember around this time Adrian, you mentioned this last week, the pewter shops that sprung up in shopping malls. I can remember I had a pewter dragon, big one, holding a crystal, and I thought it was so cool. I thought I was so adult by owning, I own a pewter sculpture.
It was I have that. Now when I'm 16, I'll have a Trans Am, and I will be the most important person on the planet. So for sure.
Wow. All right. All right. Trans Ams. It didn't work out. No Trans Ams. Hey, another full-page ad for Arms Law, Claw Law, and Character Law. That being the wonderful Rollmaster series of role-playing games. I'm a big fan, but I love complexity and charts. All right, table of contents. We got a creature catalog. I'm excited about that. 29 new monsters. I bet they're
much to say about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. D&D 1984, they weren't turning out any garbage. It was all 100% quality.
100% quality. Bugbears, other things, right? Let's see. Other features, survival's group effort, blah, blah, blah. What?
Nothing. We'll get to the articles. There are several articles I'm excited about here.
Yeah. All right. Well, you can give a little star next to them here. Is it? Let's guess what articles Jason's excited about, guys. Is it survival as a group effort? I don't think he's that excited about that.
I think he's going to geek on that pretty hard.
Really? All right.
I did
too.
When I was that age.
How about 6 very special shields?
Ed Greenwood, once again, Ed Greenwood proving why he's the master, and he should just be writing everything.
Yes. Give him the book. The roll of books, sources for medieval warfare.
Did you look at some of those scholarly tomes?
No. Are they still in print?
Just some of them were university press books, clearly scholarly editions. It's kind of oh my.
Okay. Well, that's not. No, I suppose that lends a legitimacy to the whole affair. All right. Once again, the publishers Mike Cook, the editor-in-chief, the person we hold responsible for everything that goes on in this issue, just like last time. That would be Kim Ron. Did I say that right? Mohan? Mohan.
Kim Mohan? I don't know.
Mohan. Right. So, Denis Beauvoir. Fantastic cover, I think.
Once again, Roger Moore is still not filming his.
Yeah,
he's involved with this one. It's still between filming of his.
I'm telling you, it's a side
007
hustle he
opus
does.
nights, but-
Yeah, he does this during the day. Like he films some 007 movies at night.
Obviously, this was before he was knighted and way too important to be involved with Dragon Magazine.
No, at that point he would be disbarred unless he worked for anyone except for with the English series of stores and miniatures.
The real reason he got knighted was because he used the GM for the Queen.
Yeah, for the Queen.
Wow.
Makes sense.
So sorry, go. What that cover? Did you want to discuss the cover again?
Oh,
Or did
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
blow it right away. But yeah,
Did we talk about the author or the artist? He's Canadian.
Only both.
He's,
It's one of the better covers.
he's one of my favorite cover artists. He did. He also did a cover that continued this chess series back when that Gygax magazine was around a couple years ago.
Yep. Den Beauvoir spent 1 year studying the art program at High School of Commerce. Otherwise, he's completely self-taught. So says Wikipedia.
I'm a big fan of brains and jars, so I like this cover for sure.
Yeah, and you know, I like the severe. What is it? What is that called? With the where the harsh lines come out from like a bat-like structure. What is that? It's like a the term for that. Never mind. I like it.
Yeah, I do too. I think it's really good.
Yeah, and he's a great artist. He has a fantastic website. If you go to denbouvoir.com, really fantastic stuff, like a Ray Harryhausen set of tribute paintings, like Jason versus Hydra. Cyclops battles Dragon, Sinbad versus Kelly. It's really good.
Just out of curiosity,
check that out.
do any of you own original D&D art? Any?
Stanton has to, right?
I do. Most of my stuff is from Planescape, and then most of it's the original art from Planescape, the rule books and some of the monster manuals.
Very cool.
I do not. I have comic book art, original comic artist art, but and some signed stuff by artists on like Magic cards that did art for D&D, but nothing D&D.
Sure. All right. So Time Trouble came on, talks about time lags and some of the difficulties of getting your downloads together.
Oh yeah, I was reading that. You know, but I guess when I read that, basically the editor was apologizing. They printed an article saying someone's play-by-mail game wasn't up to snuff when, like, I guess the issues had been worked out by the time the magazine was printed. But did any of you guys ever play in a play-by-mail game? I never did.
Nope.
I played play by email where you would email a file around it, but never actual like mail. Like
It feels like enough of the same thing, though.
it's very close. You'd still have to wait until someone sent you something else.
Yeah. The definition of turn-based. All right. So out on a limb. Oh wait. They do touch on the bestiary column, which they abandoned, and then they're doing this creature catalog.
They got a couple angry articles here. If you look at the bottom of page 3, there's a letter that begins adept at arguing.
Yep.
It
Dear
ends
Dragon...
on the following page with, I think you need a DQ expert on your staff to weed out the articles that have no business being printed in a respectable magazine.
I think everyone should have a Dairy Queen expert on staff. I try to be that person at every place I'm at. Wow.
But I mean, look at the beginning sentence. Craig Barrett's article, The Warrior Alternative, in number 86, was so ill thought out that I questioned his knowledge of the rules.
A non-adept character gets a magical resistance benefit of +20 that an adept does not get.
And you know what's funny is when he's saying DQ, as I read that article, that letter a couple times, he's not talking about the Dragon Quest setting. He's talking about, there was a Dragon Quest game from SPI. And I think that's what he's writing to Dragon Magazine about. Like, man, you are like going down the rabbit hole there, buddy. I like it though. I like the passion.
Yep.
I like the fact that they gave almost two full columns to Craig to rebut the letter writer's charges.
Yeah.
Getting deep into the number of energy points required for each procedure.
All right. So, anything else as far as letters that are fun? Again, still impressed that they're talking about, a lot of the, they're talking directly to the fans, which is good.
Yeah, we mentioned that last week. I do appreciate that. Like, and I was thinking about that this week. Like, this was a big magazine at the time. You could get it just about anywhere, and they could have just, made the letters section more, I don't know. They could have gone with more professional sounding letters, or they could have, but they went with what the fans are arguing about, Steve Krebs from Fair Oaks, California's got a bee in his bonnet. Let's print it. It's awesome. I like that. They stayed, but they stayed. They stayed like, okay, let's give it to the fans. It almost feels like a message board when you read these letters. And it reminds me too of like, you ever like when you're a kid, like get a subscription to a comic, and the comic was one thing, but then there'd be like, the letters, and like over time you'd get to recognize this discussion going on between Stan Lee and all the kids who were writing in, and that discussion was really fun too.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
FRP games. What's an FRP?
Fantasy
game?
role playing.
I guess. Where the players run evil PCs.
Oh yeah.
A parent's worst nightmare, right?
Do we allow players to run evil characters? Stanton, what's your 2 cents?
I have not had a good experience with it because inevitably there's one player at the table who considers it his moral obligation to turn on the party and screw them over very early in the adventure, and use the old line, that's what my character would do, and then everyone throws pizza with him, and things degrade from there. That said, someday I would love to run an all evil campaign. Most of the science fiction campaigns I've taken part in, basically because they don't have alignment, they do turn into all evil campaigns.
Right. Play what you know.
It's one thing to say my thief pulls a dagger on the guy in the bar. It's another thing to say, give us what we want or we'll nuke you from orbit.
So, I've run goblin adventures that are effectively evil, without any problems. But I guess that's different, right?
Maybe we're getting in the difference between chaotic evil and lawful evil. Lawful evil, at least you can predict behavior. Chaotic evil is difficult to play with.
Yeah. Anybody ever part of the science fiction book club or any other?
I was. I think I
Really?
was a long time ago. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
Even before Columbia Records, when I bought not records, but tapes or whatever.
Do you still owe them
CDs,
money?
But probably, I'm probably on a list somewhere. Yeah. One day that we're gonna get this guy with interest for sure.
Yeah.
But I think I was a member of the book club. Yeah. I was an avid reader. So.
I could get 12 new books for $1 and then leave the country.
Yeah. It's all you'll ever need.
Cancel at any time.
Survival is a group effort. I love this article. It's it goes to places it shouldn't.
Yeah, this taught me to care about both biology and math.
But so if you haven't read it, it's talking about the time it takes for a population to regenerate itself for existence. It depends in part on how long creatures live, how quickly they reproduce, etc. But I guess if you were running like a campaign with the same players for 30 years or 40 years and you wiped out a village, it might take a while for that village to repopulate itself.
And this is 1984. Dragon's been publishing for a while. There's a lot of players who are in like at least their 5th year of a game thinking, oh god, this could last forever.
We've rid the kingdom of orcs. We don't have to worry about it ever again. Wait, why are there now so many orcs?
All right.
Although it did move into some uncomfortable territory. If you look on page 12, there's a paragraph toward the end of the article. From a druid's viewpoint, there's nothing wrong with humanoids as such, except that like weeds in a garden, they must be periodically rooted out and cut back, lest they threaten the balance and neutrality with their numbers.
Yeah, druids.
We have to control the population control.
Yeah, druids.
When I think about colonial oppression, I think of druids.
Exactly. Let's talk about some of the advertising in here. Villains and Vigilantes. Probably a better game than the Marvel Multiverse playtest.
It's a playtest. Come on, they can turn it around.
They can turn it around. You're right. But it just makes me want to play a proper superhero game. That's all it makes me want to do.
I will say this: have you played Villains and Vigilantes?
Not in forever. If I have.
I was at a con. My partner was playing basically the thing. He was supposed to be the strongest member of the party and could not open a door at one point. There was something fundamentally flawed with the way the game was being run.
No, man. Like, I could see it being the thing and not being able to work certain doors. Like, if you got these hands that are made of rock.
Yeah.
Anyway. But yeah, that sucks. First World, anybody know about this?
So, Villains and Vigilantes, I'm looking at the supplementary adventures. Second from the bottom, from the deeps of space.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Wait. Deeps of space?
You never think you see it coming if it comes from the deep of space.
Where'd you see this?
Without any warning. Deeps of space.
Additional adventures?
Villains and at the very bottom, it's the second from the bottom.
Yeah.
Bottom, right above that, from the deeps of space.
I mean, not grammatically incorrect.
No, I can roll with it. I think what's coming.
But yeah, it is wrong. Traveler, a game in which you can die while your character is being created.
Did anybody here read? There was a series unrelated to Traveler, the game from Game Designers Workshop. There was a science fiction book series called Traveler about this guy who roamed a post-apocalyptic Earth. He was called the Traveler. They were remember like the Mac Bolan books that they're like in that section of the bookstore. There's like a whole series of them.
I don't remember that. No.
Yeah, I don't remember it.
I read them.
It did not make it into the Walden books.
I'm pretty sure I got them at either Walden Books or Beat Alton or one of those chain stores.
You can get diamond dice. Anybody get some diamond dice back in the day from Diamond in Illinois? Park Ridge? Nobody?
So I was at a store recently, and the dice section was like packed. Like you had to basically wait. They had a small thing, and like everyone was going right to the dice, and people were like, "Do you have the ethereal pink?" And like they were like really into it. I mean, I would go in and be like, "Hey, this is a cool one," but they would go in and ask for the dice sets by name.
Are they
like,
NFTs as well? Maybe.
I don't know. It might be, but it was. Is this a thing? Like, is dice become that to that point? I mean, I'm just like.
I would love. What
I
store was
wanted
this?
a 20-sided die. Like it was Common Grounds down in Dallas, and like it was really interesting because like the whole store like it wasn't that packed, but every single person went to the dice section. And like so I went over and cruised the dice section because I'm like, well, I got to check this out. And
Common Grounds, a very common
Were they
game cafe
like
name for sure.
Yeah, it's a good.
I have to
Was
admit,
it-
I am a little bit of a dice snob. I'm a Chessex Mercury set myself.
Do you have a little box like a pool cue like? Because I do.
He does. I've
do.
seen it. I've seen both of yours
They're
actually.
all Chessex Mercury dice. I'm very particular.
See, I have hundreds of dice, but I like all different colors and everything, and just like, and I'll pick out which ones that are there because if I have dice that are bad, I know what color they are. Like there, you wouldn't know which ones are bad or which ones are good. Like where you're rolling and they're on a cold streak, you got to switch them out, and you won't know.
There's no bad dice, only bad players.
You walk around your city with like mismatched shoes, mismatched socks.
Oh.
So I was running a game one time, and we had a guy. It was in a store, and we had a guy showed up who'd never been. Oh yeah, I've seen that, Jordan. That's beautiful.
It's nice.
Wormwood, I believe. Anyway.
You were saying? You were in the store?
Oh yeah. So So I was running a game in a store with all regular players, and this guy showed up who'd never been with the group before, and he didn't show up with a full set of dice. He had like a D20 and a D6 or something, and everyone had their dice. I play with a certain type of player. Everyone's dice were neatly arranged in front of him, and he would just be like, "Oh, I need a D8," and he'd just reach for somebody's
Grab
dice.
for someone. I've seen that. Yeah.
Nobody.
Or
said
if he's like
anything,
playing,
but,
what if he's playing a wizard? And he's like, oh, I'm be doing magic missile
This
all
is
night.
this is why I keep as a DM a pool of dice.
the whole
for
table was
stuff. Yeah, it is. It's a huge faux pas. It's a weird thing.
I do always carry extra
Yeah.
sets, so if I sit down at a table and someone doesn't have any, I can share. For sure.
No, I
carry
put
extra.
I put a
I do
pool
too.
in the middle for any asshole who wants to be reaching.
Yeah.
Anybody ever play Complete Fantasy?
Not spelled that way.
Did-
Yeah.
Well, isn't that how the Complete Strategist spells it?
Yeah.
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 Cool.
The old English way.
Yeah. Ooh, battle mats, old school.
So battle mats is still a thing, but it's got to be a different company. I would think. I can't imagine
Oh,
it's
there's no
still
company called this. I don't think. Sleuth Publications.
Well, no, but their trademark is battle mats. But maybe it's a company. There's battle mats.
Oh, yeah.
As far as like
Aren't they still called battle mats?
But
Yeah,
I
there
don't
is-
buy them from Battle Mats or this company. So someone has to be like what licensing the trademark
I don't know. Probably not.
every time? Maybe still.
Yeah.
Well, this is-
Why would you?
Well,
You
this-
just call it something else, Matt.
This is battle
Dungeon
mats,
mat.
all one word. This is battle mats, all one word.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
You separated battle and mat. Apparently, you can get away with that.
yeah, true.
I still prefer the vinyl mats over everything. I know some guys like the new dry erase mats, but I find they smear.
Smearing's no good. All right. Well, good article, I think. Largely.
Yeah, it was cute. I liked it, and I think it was on theme with what a lot of gamers were thinking about. I think you're absolutely right, Jordan. A lot of people were starting to get into 5th or 6th year of campaigns, and they were thinking about stuff like this.
Yep, and instantly, like some type of editorial snub of an article, they put down the address to write in and nitpick on this this article. Go ahead and complain right here. It's awesome. Powers and Perils, Avalon Hill. Never heard of it. Gorgeous cover though. Look at that.
Yeah.
Or at least for the box.
I've never played it or really don't know much about it, but I've heard that.
Oh, that's really nice. Stanton, anything?
This one is not in my collection.
You ever seen it?
Heard of it pretty much just in Dragon Magazine. I've never known anyone who actually played it.
Oh, we gotta get it. I love Avalon Hill bullshit. Sorry, it's true. I think they like wrote a lot of template for a lot of the strategy and sheet building games that we have. No? Avalon Hill, not fans?
No, absolutely. But that I don't
think.
think of them when I think of role-playing games.
Yeah, I think war games. Like they're so big.
Oh, like, but they fully like had character sheets before there were character sheets. I think.
Oh yeah.
In a lot of ways, at least all the stat blocks. Another fantastic article from Mr. Ed Greenwood.
So there is a powersandperils.org website, so you can actually dig into it. It looks like
it's a nonprofit then.
I guess someone somewhere is actually like updating it.
Keeping this alive, yeah.
Keeping it alive.
Was it powersandperils.com?
Perils.org. Yep.
.org, yeah.
It says that they came up with a new version in 2017.
Updated it. It's like January, so of last year. So maybe a little outdated, but
all right. Well, I would be interested in taking a look for sure. All right. So 6 very special shields. Once more in the guise of Elminster. Ed Greenwood enriches us with his thoughts.
I love Grandpa Ed.
Yep.
I love his articles. These are fantastic.
It's mostly useless.
I love the shield.
I mean,
I love the shield though.
So much flavor though.
It's silent when it's hit, and you can use it to become invisible.
Yep.
There's the shield that turns into a bridge. I mean, it's just fun stuff.
It is. Good names too.
Yeah, he comes up with fun names. I don't know. I like Ed's books too. I like Ed Greenwood.
Is this a? What am I looking at here? Is this a B-side from an album? Like
no. So you guys remember in the 80s, like we're all about the same age. There were a lot of guys whose dads had.
I think Adrian's younger than us, but I could be wrong.
No, I might actually be older than. No, I'm at least some age.
No,
some age, but no. I think I'm probably about the same age. I'm probably like I don't know.
Perfect.
I won't out any of your ages, but I'm.
Oh, that's enough.
But I think but we all had new guys whose dads had served in Vietnam if our own dads didn't.
Yeah,
and like there was like a certain, my dad was that age, but he didn't, his brothers did, but he didn't. And my mom's brother served in Vietnam. Anyway, there were a lot of guys who like, I just remember certain dads like wouldn't talk about it. Like you try to, I don't want to talk about it. And then this is a very specific module set in a very specific place in Vietnam, and I thought that was interesting. I don't have necessarily a comment.
It's kind of a dark ad. I mean, it's you're looking for a scope. Like it's the more I look at it, the more it bothers me for sure. But it's weird how Vietnam was definitely a war you could like game immediately. Like I feel like 80s it wasn't that far removed.
84,
probably,
yeah,
probably in 84. Like
but
Vietnam
when did Rambo
come
come
World
out?
War II. Whoa, we don't want to do that.
When did Rambo come out?
83-ish.
Yeah. So this is right along that same height. So at the very least, there's that. Another fantastic superhero game, Heroes Unlimited. I played this. It's a good time.
Heroes Unlimited was good. Very extensive.
Yeah, the psionics were interesting. I thought that was an interesting ad.
Is this the one that was related to like Palladium and Rips?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, it's from Palladium. Like Heroes was from Palladium.
Kevin Ciambieta.
Yep. I love the Palladium D10 nonsense.
Yeah, it was good for definitely like the power set and paging through powers, which I love. That was like my peak role-playing thing, superhero role-playing games, getting the powers book and just going through them, and I love that, paging through it in Heroes.
Yeah.
It really.
You ever play the TMNT game?
Yes, loved it.
Yes, fantastic. Yeah, so good. Right on. More shields, awesome shields. Grimjaw, love it. Grimjaw has a table to roll. That's always good.
Always fun.
Yeah, this is good content. Game Master's Guide, Dungeon Master Utility, Wizza System. The Wizza System is acclaimed by Wizardry Registered players worldwide.
I like seeing that.
Yeah.
You can get it for your Apple or your IBM or your Commodore 64.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Height of technology.
Ultima 2 and 3, man. You guys have played Ultima?
I played.
Yeah.
I did a little bit, but not again. I've played
you can
recently.
again. Yeah. You can.
It never went away. He still maintains it. If you play it online.
Yeah, it's insane. It's really good.
And not only that, I read his biography a few years ago. He's done some cool stuff, and he whatever he's in, just dives in.
Yeah, he's interesting.
Like he was an astronaut. He's been to space. He does. I guess he used to do these incredible Halloween parties. Like you wanted to get invited. They were down in Texas, and he would like build castles and shit. And I guess they were just incredible.
Good to know. Yeah. Naked Sword.
Not touching that.
But it's adventures and rules for warriors and heroic fantasy. Game Lords Limited in Maryland.
The parents of edgelords everywhere.
Thieves Guild, though. Thieves Guild was a huge thing, right?
The book series was. I'm not sure how popular the game system was. I think there was a Sanctuary box set for AD&D that was put out by Game Lords. I think it was compatible with first edition AD&D, but I could be wrong.
Marvel superhero role-playing game, the best superhero role-playing game ever made, right? Yeah, I think so.
Yes, absolutely.
So far, hobby game distributor, so ordered up. All right, what do you guys think of the Gods of the Soul Pantheon? Leonard
Lakofka. Yeah, I like Leonard Lakofka's stuff. He did a few modules that I have, and I for a while there I was still gaming in the Greyhawk universe. So anything that related to the Sewell or the balconies and all that kind of stuff, I really kind of got into.
Right, so standard Pantheon. I love that in the world of D&D, you immediately give your gods hit points. Just to, yeah.
The only thing I'll say is with that first one listed, Pyreneus, he does have what players just love, a save or die attack.
Yeah.
You look on the second column there. Anyone susceptible to the poison who is struck by the whip must save versus poison at 3 or die on the spot.
Yeah.
Players just love that.
Yeah.
I mean, it just makes sense. So is that a beholder?
Yeah, this is a goddess of deep dark places. Pre Underdark, basically.
They're all lesser gods. There's like millions.
Yeah, gods of beasts, strength. Ooh, clerics must pay for skills. What? I don't disagree.
You cruised right over the ad for the most iconic in my day. What was the most iconic superhero game?
Champions.
Oh, Champions. That's just because I saw it just recently.
Yeah.
Jason?
I was going through a box in the closet, and look what I found.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Well done.
How many of the illustrations did you wind up coloring with marker?
None. I didn't play it much. It didn't grab my fancy, and I didn't.
And to
have
be
friends who were
clear,
into it, so I have
this
the
is
book.
more an ad for the Grenadier figures
Yeah.
for Champions,
Yeah.
which are pretty good.
Hero games.
I like they got both a Hawkman and a jetpack guy with the streaming jet that's gonna be horrible to paint. How can you do that? It's really hard.
Did these Grenadiers come painted? I don't remember.
I
the
don't think so,
Champions
no.
figures.
No, I don't think so.
Nothing came painted back then.
I know, but their ad is all in color there.
It's true. Yeah. Oh, you can make it look like that for sure. Someone did.
Good luck. So,
Right. Ye Blind Cyclops Inn. I've always loved these sets, but this one looks particularly bad. It looks like half the figures are melted.
they're wax figures.
Yeah, it's not great. Dragonlance. Anybody play some Dragonlance?
Dragon what? Never heard of it.
What's old is new again.
Yeah.
Coming back
Hey,
without Hickman's involvement. The Hickmans are not involved in the new.
Not
from what
really,
I heard.
okay.
Really?
Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard
big,
that like.
big lawsuit.
Well, I guess they settled the lawsuit, but being settled, they didn't. Supposedly, this book still has nothing. I don't know. This is what I saw online, that they're not writing it, and they're doing like a Kickstarter for their own thing. So maybe they were just too focused on that. But I can't imagine they couldn't pivot quickly and be like, oh, we can get back in on this. So, but yeah, supposedly they're not going to be involved with the new Dragon.
I thought the whole point of the lawsuit was that they had contracted for 2 books that Wizards was under obligation to publish.
Yeah, I guess they settled somehow, but not publish the books. I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe they're publishing like novels, but
They
not.
are. They are publishing novels. Novels are coming out.
Okay, so maybe they're
They
writing
have like
novels, but
they have like 3
supposedly
novels
not.
coming out.
Yeah, supposedly not
Who's-
writing them.
Who's going to produce the new campaign set?
Right.
Well,
I don't know. I just thought it wasn't them, but
I mean,
Wow.
we at least know that Wizards is.
You know, back in the day, they did write some non-D&D books. They wrote just general fantasy books as well as the D&D tie-ins.
Yep.
And they're
Hey,
certainly capable of it.
Stanton, last time we ran across a full-page, beautiful cover of Jaroon, which I didn't remember being this old, but I remember seeing it and really wanting to play it because the art was amazing.
Yeah, like neoclassical
Yeah,
illustrations. Mm-hmm.
fantastic. Did you ever play Jaroon? Do you know of it? Did it die for any reason?
I think it's like, to me, I put it in the same category as Empire of the Petal Throne and, some of these ancient, campaign settings. It was its own standalone game, but I think really its strength was its world building in the sense that it had, all these different civilizations and cultures and really fleshed it out more so than you were getting from the Dungeons and Dragons products at the time. So I imagine there were a lot of people out there mixing and matching their Jaroon campaign setting with their D&D rules.
Sure. All right. Spell category systems.
This was very important in AD&D back in the day. Even more so in 2nd edition, but this was still in 1st.
Yeah.
And now I don't
Really?
think In 5th edition, I don't think it matters at all.
Yeah,
No.
I mean they are defined, but like how
Yeah.
often do you even think about, oh, that's an avocation and that's a
I mean,
detonation and everything?
I've
It's
thrown
like-
it. I've thrown it in detect magic to like describe what magic it is,
Sure.
which has like given clues to like whom might be involved in
Mhm.
something. But that's the extent of it.
In 2nd edition, it was so severe that if you specialized in one type of magic, you could not cast spells from one other class of magic.
I mean, it's nearly enforced now. Cast your own fantasy figures. Like I say, I grew up with some kids who tried this. Again, I'm pretty sure it was lead. I haven't looked them up. They could be in a bad state.
I'm sure it's perfectly safe because it comes from something called the Drunken Company from Texas.
Perhaps I'll throw their GoFundMe's at the bottom of the YouTube when we.
I love. They have written there. Casting your own figure is as much fun as playing the game. I doubt
It's not. It's not.
Melting lead in your garage and pouring it into a mold.
I mean, fire is empirically fun, but
Yeah. Well,
the champions, Islandia campaign series modular adventures for all fantasy roleplay systems. Do you guys know of the champions campaign series and
Companion?
modular adventures?
no.
Uh-uh.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like they went beyond a PO box.
Yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to find like some of that weird. Do you think that's around that we could actually see some of that content? I bet some of it's just insane. Hey, they're covered on Goodreads.
Wow.
Companion series. Oh, that's different though.
Yeah, nice art. On
Anyway.
RPGNet.
I wonder if that became the same thing. That'd be great. I doubt it though. Atlantis: The Lost World. Anybody play this? Bard games? Did anyone play any bard game?
No.
Don't think so.
Really? They were always advertising, and I feel
Yeah,
like I've
yeah.
played some stuff.
They had that. Did they make that unicorn game where if you like solved the mystery of the unicorn, you got like a real life prize?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not familiar. The rule of books. All right, so who wants to talk about Louis Pulsifer?
Oh, you skipped over the big ads for the
Yeah, you've been to the Time Life books.
Oh yeah. Timeline books.
Every library, every public library in the land had a full set of these.
Yeah, I remember my school had these books. They were fantastic.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I actually.
And do you remember,
really enjoyed
like-
these as well?
I did too, and they had not only this set, but then correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Time Life have like a series on like the occult and supernatural stuff? I
Yeah.
remember-
These totally were like gateway drugs to my horrible lifestyle at this point. Yeah, absolutely. This is great stuff. I would love to get my hands on these as well.
I think as a kid, I had a subscription to the Time Life series of like ancient civilizations. So you got like
Yeah.
on the Romans, a book on the
Man,
Reformation.
you had that, and you were in the sci-fi book club. You were
I
scored.
I was not dating girls until high school. I was.
Yeah. Fantasy Unlimited Reversible Hooded Cape, $66, 4 to 8 weeks for delivery. Outrageous.
Yeah. How many did you own?
None, but I may have made one.
Did it cost
I
you
thought
$66?
No, it cost me learning how to sew, and that's enough.
My mom.
Everyone else in home ec was making, pillows and pot things, and Matt was making the cake.
Listen, follow your passions, right?
Do I want an open hood or a traditional true peasant's hood? I can't make up my mind.
I wanted the cowl with the sharp
the Doctor Strange.
Yeah. But I couldn't.
Till Metal Shop.
I couldn't quite get it until anyway. Yeah. So if I want to talk about Louis Pulsifer and if that is his real name.
It is. Yeah.
No, it's not. Louis Pulsifer?
Yeah, he was an author.
All right.
He did a lot of game reviews. I think he might have even done some games.
Well, he has a fantastic catalog of or bibliography, sure, of largely academic publications on historic warfare. It's actually amazing.
Of No, it's interesting stuff, but this strikes me more as like what the historical wargamer guys were reading.
Yeah.
But there's roots there, and there's still a lot of crossover. Yeah. I gotta imagine.
Yeah, no, completely.
According to the internet, Pulsifer did stuff for the diplomacy board game, creating a lot of variants for that, which makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that's definitely more in this niche of the hobby than role playing.
Has anyone ever played a Nova game?
Of
Nova?
Oh, no.
I have.
I see.
There's so much fun.
So did they not use dice? Was it like a chit?
It did not. It was table comparisons.
Oh, I know Ace of Aces, and then later on there was a Marvel one where you do you'd have there
was a lightsaber one, and there was a TIE Fighter.
They were awesome.
Yes, they were fantastic.
Yeah. I played some of the Marvel ones. They were really cool. Like one person was the good guy, one person was the bad guy, and they'd read the book and you'd go to page this, and then you'd fight and you'd get to do actions. That they were cool game systems. I really liked them. Yeah, they were awesome.
I think.
But without the dice, what did you each have so many action points to spend? It was like a card game where you each choose in secret how many.
You picked a maneuver, and then you picked an offensive maneuver, and that would be compared to your opponent's defensive maneuver, and there'd be a matrix where you then look up the result, and that would also give you additional options that you can continue back and forth respond.
Yeah, really had a real ICE quality to it.
Yeah, it's cool. I never saw Nova. I didn't even know that existed as that. But like I said, the Ace of Aces and the Marvel and I think the Star Wars one I saw. But
I mean, Nova's the publisher. Or I thought it was the
Nova Game Designs. Yeah, Nova Game Designs. Yes, but it's saying Lost Worlds. So I don't know.
Right.
Never saw that one.
Based on Raul Partha miniatures.
Oh.
Huh.
And you get 10% off.
Wow. I didn't know how far deep this went.
Did any of you play Shogun?
No.
Oh, I did. That was great. Yeah.
Describe it.
There was a map of Japan.
Yep.
It was a little bit like Risk, but you didn't have the cards.
This is a card game. This is a card game, so I think it's different.
Oh no, it's a different one.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Because I know what you're talking about. The board game. I was like, this actually says it's a card game.
Yeah, I know. I remember the board game. Yeah, Shogun card game based on the James Clavell's Epic Samba.
Based on the book / mini-series. There's a mini-series, right? Yeah. In the 80s.
Oh, yeah. Famous for someone peeing on another person. It's I just remember. It's the one thing I remember from that thing.
I mean, of course you.
Sitting down to watch this this mini-series with my dad, and within the first half hour, some guys get peed on.
Kind of puts a spoil in the dinner hour, but yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Also spoils the show. I was really looking forward to being surprised by that. All right, who goes there? Sentinel. So an NPC who can like see and hear things.
Yeah.
Okay.
Useful.
Yeah. I like the charts.
It's kind of like when you use NPCs as mind detectors, convincing them, will you go? Or trap detectors. NPC, won't you walk down that hallway for the party?
Silver Dawn, I assume some type of BDSM religious order.
I'm just thinking straight pyramid scheme. I don't know.
Yes, I mean they're kind of the same. I mean one supports the other. Correspondence gaming. There were just tournament in the. Do we have a documentary in hand cataloging the tournaments of past correspondence gaming?
Just trying to track down, did anyone ever win Silver Dawn? You know what? I'm looking it up now. Did anyone win Silver Dawn?
Yeah.
What did you do with your $5,000?
Weird.
Well, after it was $3 every time I wrote in, so when I removed how much I spent, it really came out to around like $3,900.
Yeah. Well, I put that $5,000 towards the credit card I was using to play the game, so I only owe $10,000 left. Yeah. But I won first place. They gave me this trophy. It's really nice.
More on the Sentinel, including some special abilities. I like the Sentinel article. It's decent. Once again, they throw the author under the bus by encouraging someone to write in and complain about this particular article immediately. But White Dwarf, Games Workshop, which is the only, the only game store that Roger Moore can legitimately work for, because it's owned by the Queen.
Yes.
Yeah, we were talking, Stanton, last week about our love of Games Workshop.
Yeah, and White Dwarf has been a fantastic, amazing. I've picked it up for various D&D stuff because they have legitimate articles that apply not only to their systems.
Jason, you might be. I've always been curious. Why was Traveller so popular in England across the pond?
I don't know, but it was, and I don't know the answer for that.
I blame Dr.
I don't know if it was just better marketing, or if it was just or it just because D&D wasn't initially as popular there as it was here. They had other games that they played instead. Right. RuneQuest was really big over there and others, and so I don't know. Maybe it just been when it arrived and when it hit. I don't know. Does anyone know or have a theory?
I mean, they had a big game. Like in England, there was a big game community, and so they definitely. Yeah. I think they went a little deeper than the US did at the time. Like, I mean, you had D&D and stuff like scratching the surface.
It's a mirror universe. It's like
they went really
comics were like they had their own like graphic novel magazines like we did, but they're completely mirror universe shit. Like same with gaming.
We invented rock and roll, but they did it better.
Did they? Huh.
Yes, they did actually. Name like one of the biggest rock and roll bands. They're probably there's the Beatles, there's the Rolling Stones, there's Led Zeppelin. They're all from England.
The Kinks, the Who.
Yeah. And now think of America. Quick, who's the biggest?
Beach Boys.
Aerosmith.
Beach Boys.
No. I guess. Hey, check it out, more Raul Partha, and also this article on.
One other thing I was going to just say to that, though, is I think with the thing in England, there's a guy who has a good podcast. He goes by either the Grognard or the Grognard Files, but he's English. But when he talks about it, he talks about like here when we were role playing, it was D&D. I mean, D&D was huge, and then everything else was slightly lesser. There, at least the way he describes it, D&D was just another option. Like RuneQuest was huge, and we all played Rune. Oh, and then there's this thing D&D, and someone had the book, but it wasn't like this this champion of gaming. It was just another option.
Well, it's that much further from Wisconsin and Gary Gygax's orgy villa in right, his mansion.
His
We were talking to
castle.
Stanton earlier about Gary Gygax becoming at this point a cocaine fueled mad with power.
Well, he had the mansion
reckless.
there on one of the lakes, right? I've seen the photos. This like incredible mansion he had.
Then
Do you know
I don't
about
know. I
this,
can't.
Ken?
You know, I wasn't that close to the ground zero. I was like, I knew people that worked for the company, but I didn't know the Gygaxes personally, other than, you know, running into stuff with Luke Gygax years later.
the glory years.
So here, just a sec. I'm going to hold up a photo. So Stone Manor. Gary had an apartment, but it was like this manor was divided up into these humongous apartments apparently, and he had one. Anyway, I'm looking at the book. I'll give credit. Empire of Imagination.
Sure. Yeah.
Has some photos of Gygax in it, and he. Anyway, they're doing it. I'm not making fun of it. It looked really cool, and I know, and you know, he worked hard, to make TSR what it is. I was just curious if anyone knew about
it's just a wonderful thing to see him as some
There's
type
Ernie,
of insane.
Ernie sunbathing.
Ernie sunbathing?
Oh,
Wow.
yeah. All right.
There's
you know
an
what?
interior shot of Gary's Beverly Hills mansion.
I'll have to
And he
pick that
was
book
living
up
large. These were the years.
just to compare notes with.
In '84, I mean,
Current.
the game was everywhere. The cartoon was going. I mean, it was
Cartoon was
really
on.
pulling it in.
They were trying
Yeah,
to float the movie. They thought they were sitting on trademark gold in terms of brand recognition. So, you know.
Yep.
And here
Here's
we are
more,
again with them announcing the new movie. So, you know.
Yeah. The same cast, right?
Yes.
Roger Moore.
Finally.
They're going to the actor with the blue lips is going to return to reprise his character once again.
Beefing up the bureaus. Suggestions for giving agents separate skills. This is primarily for.
Well, this is for top secret, right? Yeah.
Top Secret Original Edition.
Yeah. I love me some Top Secret.
That was our #1 game in junior high school, more so than D&D.
Yeah, makes sense. Dragon Quest rules for studying spells.
I don't know, Craig. You're on our list of dubious authority.
Yep. That's why they had to give them such a long letter page. Like, oh crap!
They already bought this article.
Yeah.
They already had.
We're publishing his article in a couple pages.
Yeah.
We gotta cover it.
Yeah, note how this article doesn't invite
Yes.
readers
It yes.
to point it out. No invitation to write in and correct this one.
Craig's been beat up enough. Give Craig some space.
I need.
guess.
Well, it really looks like he's tackling a difficult topic because he's citing rules by rules 34.6 and 34.7 apply to the beginning of your magical study. I'm like, now I really want to go back and see this rule book because it sounds like the owner's manual to your TSR 80.
I downloaded it. I downloaded it. It looks like, if you guys remember playing war games, the it's written like a war game book.
Okay.
It's not so much as
squad leader
narrative as it is
Starfleet
rule
battles.
by rule.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Nothing wrong with that.
Like every game that GMT publishes has that style.
Yeah, it's exactly. It's very much like a GMT rule book, which if you get in the habit of reading those, you can really peruse them pretty quickly.
Yeah, it's interesting, but I played some of their games that were not really war games. They were like war game adjacent, but they're written in that style, and it's kind of jarring. Like there are war games that make sense because I think it's a good logical way to learn, but some of their other stuff written in that way, it's a little, I don't know.
Is there any way for me to get my hands on how much money Rel Partha gave Craig and how much money Ralph Hartha like gained in sales from that because they've owned this magazine, right? And here's another double-page spread.
They were the Cadillac of miniatures back in the day.
Sure, but I just want to see the financing. Someone's paying for Guy Gax's mansion, and I guess that Ralph Hartha's partially funding it. We follow the money. Over to some more dragons. All right. The creature catalog is our feature in this magazine. And this is slightly better than I was drawing when I was 13, but only because of that guy's face. Yeah, not much.
So I have a theory about some of these monsters. I think more than a few of these were created a few hours before the deadline, and someone just looked around his office and said, I don't know though I got the window's a monster. I got a fish tank. Fish, I'm gonna do a dozen fish, they're monsters. I've got one of these Midwestern jackalope things that you get at the truck stop. That's a monster, except we'll call it a Caligron. You just
hey, what else could be a giant thing? What else is a giant thing we could make giant? Like a giant snail? Can we make a giant snail?
So the Fashan is when we get to that, is a very intriguing character that absolutely instills zero fear in me if I would ever be adventuring against him.
Dude, there's a freaking jackalope with a magic sword.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just
Kelly.
And then when I got to the monster, the glass pane horror, I was like, wait, is it a window? I said, it is. It's a window that attacks you.
Hey, wasn't this a character? The Bashir, isn't that a character in Deep Space Nine? Bashir
was like a character. Wasn't that someone's name in that thing?
Yeah.
Is that
Deep Space Nine? Is that Deep Space Nine? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yep.
It was like that was one of the
Corky?
Whatever position they were.
What is a Corky? It's just a cat thing?
It says giant rodent, so it looks kind of like a beavery type animal.
Can't tell if that's a horn. Yeah, 2 horns.
Size small.
I like some of these.
So there was
Some of these are
explode
super
stool.
weird. Yeah.
That's up top, the explode stool.
Yep.
Also, if you eat bad Chinese, explode stool.
Fashion, which is
which is like this least scares. Look at that creature. I mean, it fears, someone tripping it with a rope or something.
Kill me! Kill me!
Yeah.
Please kill me! I'll hop to you!
In a fight so that you take them out of their misery.
Someone pronounce this thing on the bottom. Go on.
Wanna?
Sure. They're like a wolf.
If there's many of them.
They're related to gnolls.
It's 10 guana. They're like deer. You don't have plural. Guana is not very interesting that they call that out.
Quasi-lycanthropy created by. So it's a gnoll-based lycanthropy. Cool. And also, what some type of flail tail. The flail tail is my favorite so far. I want to 3D print a flail tail for sure. As a miniature, just because it's the weirdest thing ever. And also Naga. Is this the first time we've seen a Naga? Because that's a mythological favorite.
Nagas were in the first edition AD&D.
That's what I thought. Why is this?
It's
because it's dark.
Naga. Yeah.
Oh. What's the difference there?
Yeah, I've got the first edition Monster Manual here. They had the
Do
Guardian
you?
Spirit and
Wonderful.
Water novels. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, let's do a comparison here. What makes it dark? I assume a healthy dose of
Joy Division.
Yep. Yeah.
The artwork is very similar.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah, it's the same type of creature, but this one is dark.
The dungeon is dark and you're feeling your way along the wall. Suddenly, the opening riffs of the Cure song begin. It can only be Dark Naga.
Jane's addiction or something.
I can't figure out the picture that's at the Peltast. It's like someone's hand in their like belt.
That is a neat.
Like
That's a neat creature. Basically, it's like fake leather that feeds on you. You think you're wearing a glove, but the creature is slowly leeching from you.
That is awesome.
Yeah, isn't it?
There's an old 50s movie I'm dying to try and find it. I cannot find it anywhere. And I've been looking for years and years where there's someone on the phone and the creature's a hand and no, it's not the hand because I've watched every hand thing, but it's basically it's basically one of those leather like gardening gloves and they just kind of drag it along the floor because it's the 50s and that's the thing. But at some point someone's on the phone, they have the cord and the glove crawls up the person that's on the phone and strangles them. It's such a great scene, and I just know I saw it when I was a kid. I have no idea what movie it is, except like I've looked at the hand, the crawling hand, everything, and I just can't find that scene to know that it's a movie. But sounds like this is it, where it's there's a hand. I would definitely throw this in a game.
A really dark episode of the Addams Family.
Maybe, yeah. It could have been like a outer world or like or a Twilight Zone or something. I don't know.
Tales from the Dark Side.
Yeah, it could have been, but I don't think so. I think it was actually a movie. I don't know.
Any comparison, Jason? What makes this dark?
No idea. For the ends of evil on the prime material plane, dwell in caverns and ruins. I'm not sure what makes this one dark. I mean, it's evil, but I don't see anything particularly dark about it.
All right. Peltast.
Yeah, I'm loving this creature. It like if you drop something, it rushes over to take place, so you pick it up, and then it like throws out a liquid that you don't feel and slowly like dissolves your skin. You don't even know that it's happening. This is great. This is a good. I could see like trying to put it in there and like, have it weeks later. Oh, remember that dungeon you were in there and you dropped your glove? Like, yeah, your hand's gone because it's been dissolved. Peltast. I like it.
Yeah.
You can do a lot of this is a fun.
Yeah, but I also I can think of several players I'll do this to immediately.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't necessarily kill you. It just feeds a couple hit points a day. But the interesting thing here is that it says it has an interest in keeping the host alive. Yeah. So should you be down to like death saves, it might actually save you. All along, you never even know that this creature's really there feeding on you.
I smell a buddy movie here. Now all of a sudden it's like, me and the Peltast going in.
Yeah.
It'll never.
Paul and Peltast.
Yeah.
Peltast and Paul. Pitch plants, giant, of course. Sea star. Scallion. I love the giant shrike. I love that they've made it into a cardinal. Right?
Again, I think the guys were just looking around the office that day. Hey, bird out the window.
It's got like, is that a person impaled on the behind it? That's great. I love that.
Yeah, I assume this is to scale to that person. It's the same tree, so yeah.
Or it's just near and far, but
well, it would have a size to it, right? Or is it
would be great.
Size M, 4 foot long, 9 foot wingspan. So yeah,
That's
pretty good size. Yeah, that'll fuck you up.
Yeah, don't mess with that.
Yeah, don't like it. Sind, don't. Yeah, I guess Sind would come to your village or whatever.
Marsh dwellers.
Yeah. Star Leviathan, my favorite, actually.
Why? Jordy, so why the love for the Star Leviathan?
Just because you'll never encounter it. It's just an insanely rare type, and because I don't know a Star Leviathan that can soar the stars, has telepathy and astral projection. It's perfect bait for a certain age of science fiction, I think.
So where are we in the era that this magazine was published? This was after the Psionics book was out, because everything is
84,
has a sonic
so
ability.
yeah.
So is this like full on like?
This is AD&D around the time that they're publishing like all of the various specialized subcategory rules and yeah.
It might be
Right?
before that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if you're talking about the second edition D&D.
Well, all right. So this is 84 CSR.
Yeah.
You had the Psionics rules in the Player's Handbook for first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons in '78.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought it was a bigger thing. I don't know. I always thought it was a bigger thing when that like Psionics handbook came out. Was really the thing that like
That didn't.
the
I'm
Psionics
looking it
handbook-
up. That didn't come out till like '91.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
wow.
came out for second edition, which I think started
Second
coming out in
edition.
'86.
Yeah.
I want to say. Hang on,
Yeah, maybe.
let me check my bona fides and see.
Second edition,
Yeah,
89.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember we were all switching over to second edition in college.
Roll. So RAFM is a company that is strictly exists to get Raw Partha into Canada.
Yeah.
True. Yep. You can only, but they have quality and pride and tradition. So. Hey, what's a monster worth?
This was a good article.
It's Roger Moore.
Well, yeah. Should I be surprised? Not at all. But this
No, not at
this was a
all.
good article. I like this.
I think it's a good. I mean, I think it's a good thought for today's monsters. Like, if you're running something, you're trying to create something. Like, how are you assigning the XP? I think it's. I mean, I've shifted a lot more in games to, end of chapter leveling up versus monster kill count. But if
Yeah.
you are trying to log that, like, it's interesting to try and figure out where they come in on the scale of XP.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good article. I liked it.
That's good because no invitation to critique it.
No, I got nothing bad to say.
Down in the engines, what's that, GSI game system? Don't know it.
Yeah.
No. Anyone heard of Earthwood or Dawn of the Ancients? I've heard of Chill and Time Master, I think, but I've never played them.
Time Master always looked interesting. I've never played. Anyone played Time Master?
I definitely ran Chill when I was a teenager.
Yeah? How was it?
Is it horror?
It's
Looks it.
horror. You're right.
Hammer horror?
given the test of, it was a little bit more Universal Monsters than Call of Cthulhu. Certainly would not be something, there really wasn't any big advantage to running this over Call of Cthulhu, other than, there was something new. I liked a lot of the artwork that came with the second edition of the game. First edition was very traditional Monster Mash kind of focused.
Sure. Do you know what you played?
I remember there was werewolves involved in the adventure that we ran.
Maybe Village of Twilight?
No, it was something that came with a basic module. Like I said, it was very, very, very werewolves and Dracula vampire focused before the vampire role-playing. This is about, I don't want to say 10 years before, but quite a few years before vampires were cool.
Yeah.
Hammer. This was like Hammer films. The
I loved
horror
Hammer films.
Yeah, that was definitely the aesthetic that I think this game was going.
Anybody play Time Master at all?
I would have liked seeing Time Master, but I never played it. Looks good. They're also in Wisconsin. I see Delvan, Wisconsin. How close is that to the Gygax Empire?
Delavan is right next door to Lake Geneva. There's 3 cities: Elkhorn, Delavan, and Lake Geneva were basically all right on top of each other.
So I wouldn't doubt that half of the staff, if not more, are expats from TSR. Armory Paint. Available to all of your hobby stores. Go get it. Dunkel Z.
I see Kurt Russell still owning the 80s.
There's nothing wrong with that.
This story wasn't bad. It was better than the one from the last issue. I looked up Troy Denning.
Troy Denning wrote the Dark Sun novels.
Yeah.
The Prism Penta, the 5 thing. I think he wrote all of them, but I know he wrote the first one for sure.
He was a big.
Yeah, I liked those. I was a big Dark Sun fan, but I liked those.
The illustrations in this is the I believe the same cover artist from last time, Jim Holloway.
Oh, is it?
He did the cover from last issue. Yeah. Which was pretty good.
Yeah, I looked Troy Denning up. Adrian, he did, in addition to Dark Sun, he did some Forgotten Realms, Halo, Planescape. He wrote some Star Wars books too. So no, he was definitely experienced at writing the tie-in novels.
He might still be doing some stuff because like the Halo, and he does a lot of like. I'm thinking he's still active, but he was doing a lot of writing in someone else's world kind of stuff. So, but yeah, I thought he was a capable writer.
We'll peek to the future. Endless Quest books. Anyone check out the Endless Quest books?
Yeah, I think I played a couple. There's newer. They came out with newer ones recently too.
Really? Oh, interesting.
They had. Do you remember there were the brand Choose Your Own Adventure, but then TSR had the Endless Quest, and the TSR ones were definitely better.
Well, they also just came out with a revamp of the Choose Your Own.
Yeah, I think the newer Endless Quests are skewed for a younger. I don't know. I haven't really looked at the new ones, but they look like they were skewed more for like a younger crowd than some of these. Still probably really fun to play.
Yep. So we got a Ares log, the science fiction area of the Dragon magazine. Star Frontiers game background. I like this, and I like the mega corporation setting in general. Definitely hit all of the major points of that type of campaign. Right.
You guys know Roger Moore is one of the editors of Ares magazine. That guy was just doing everything.
Might be where he came from when they bought Ares.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think we speculated on that last time. Luna, the Empire and the Stars. The Moon in Outer Suns game.
This is one of the few ones. This is one of the few games I never heard of.
Yeah, me neither.
What about you? Other Suns?
No, I've never heard of it.
Did you look it up? Anyone?
I'm looking it up now. It has a Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
Science fiction, space adventure system, medium complexity. Published in '83 by Fantasy Games Unlimited as a box set. And then if you just look it up online, there are some pictures of the box set. I don't even remember seeing this box set.
I enjoyed the article, but no context to it. It's Clobbering Time, the best superhero game ever published.
I bought the most beat up comic I ever bought. It has no cover, it's all torn to shreds, but it's the copy of an original copy of the first time he says it's Clobbering Time. It's like an old
Wow.
and I bought it simply because literally it's like a cherished thing that I have, and it's like next to worthless, but it's there. He says Clobbering Time, and I love it.
Awesome.
Did you just happen to come across it, or did you special order it, or
No, I came across it. I was like just digging through a comic book shop, and they had this, and it was like, it's the cover's like cut in half, so it's only like half missing and everything. It's like, it is definitely rating is poor or worse, but
mint is the word you're looking for.
But it's still the first time they saw it, so I definitely snatched it up so I'd have it.
Mutant Animals in the Gamma World game. Maybe I played Gamma World. I enjoyed Gamma World.
Oh
Gamma
my
World's
God.
cool.
I continue to run Gamma World today.
Do you really?
Which version?
Yeah, I've got those cards that when I was running games in bars, Gamma World was one of them, and you basically just passed out cards that had the mutations on it, and whatever you got in your hand was what your character was. Okay, now go.
Nice.
It's fun.
Mm-hmm.
I like this. It's well organized, right?
Have any of you
love
played
the original.
Kind of like.
Go ahead.
I was just thinking of Gamma World. Then they had that game that came out a few years ago. Was it Mutant Year Zero? Anyone played that?
Yeah, Mutant Year Zero was by people that did like is it Modiphius, or who's the publisher?
Oh yeah, Modiphius.
Yeah, I think they published that because they also did like the Loop and stuff. So
I've seen the books.
Really
They
nice
look high quality.
Yeah, their books are really nice looking. It's an interesting take. They also made a video game on it too. It's like an XCOM type thing. I think it was one of the first ones where they were developing their system, because most of their games they riff on the kind of the same system, and I think that was one of their first ones, but it was always well received from what I heard.
I know no one's played Cyworld. Anyone play any games by Fantasy Games Unlimited?
I remember Cyworld, not like playing it, but just seeing it like everywhere for a while. I just remember I think there were some of the books were around or something like that, but I remember Cyworld.
All right, so now we get to the Marvel file. I definitely I believe I had this magazine that specifically for this.
Nice.
To get like a Submariner and other stats. Yep.
Written by Jeff Grubb, who created Spelljammer.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Who is also not being involved with the new Spelljammer. He was the one that brought it up.
Oh.
He said that. Oh yeah, I found out when they announced that they were doing Spelljammer, so he was not involved with it, according to his Facebook.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's a shame. But
Still looking forward to it.
Yeah, again, the Marvel things, looking at the heroes and reading their again, these are just pages out of the Marvel encyclopedia that they had, but I love them. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
This would have been what I would have been like pouring over, was just like reading into them and their strengths, their weaknesses, their history. I love this stuff.
All right. Once again, the Dragon Bone Electronic die roller is here. I believe, put out a video on how to produce your own one of these with a breadboard and a 9-volt battery.
Nice.
And some LEDs. Because that's fun. And And then free lead figure, poison your family. Fantasy Spice, more computer programs that you can get. Taking shareware.
Like the store, the Crimson Clover.
Yeah. Where's Crimson Clover? Yeah. In Indiana.
On the page 80, lower middle.
In Indiana, in Seymour.
Good, just a good name for a store, the Crimson Clover.
Over and over.
There's also War Games West. I remember seeing them advertised forever.
Hey, a totally new concept in Dungeons. Are you tired of unfinished long-forgotten adventures which have captured your characters for ages? Finally, you can enjoy an entire fantasy adventure in a maximum of 4 hours. That's what I try to do. That's really my goal. 4 hours.
That's what Pathfinder sold its system, its play system on.
Really?
4 hour chunks. Yeah, that was the point of Pathfinder. Like, as far as their
I thought the point was
organized
to
play.
take 3.5 and extend it to 3.8.
It was, but then their organized play, which I still think they did a good job with it, was that everything should be designed to finish in 4 hours. Unless
Well, that's
it's like
what
an
Adventures
extended-
League. Yeah, Adventures League with D&D it did this as well. Yeah.
But I feel like Adventures League never had the organization that Pathfinder did.
No.
Maybe it was, like,
Have I told you about the time that I was at Gen Con DMing and I was out in Indiana after hours and I witnessed the community organizer of Pathfinder being hit by a car and I had to sign witness docs for police and whatnot. So it's the closest I got to the community organization. But yeah, no, I talked to those guys later and they had it down. Yeah, they made Adventures League, which I was a part of at the time, look embarrassing. And there was no way to actually organize that group of people. So.
I loved Pathfinder because I was traveling for work a lot at the time. So I would just, wherever I was all over the country, I would look up a shop on like a Wednesday night. They would have a game. I'd show up with my character. I'd play. So my character would advance. They'd play in different states. I played in Florida and Pennselsvania and California and all over the place.
Like they're living the dream that we tried to create.
And then you go online and you can see what game you played there. Like
they had online stuff.
It's so easy. It's so easy.
Adrian,
Why does it not exist?
You could look yourself up.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like right now I could look up my characers that I haven't used in 10 years and see what levels they are.
That's exactly what Wizards should have done.
Yeah. Why they don't do it? Why D&D isn't doing that yet? I still don't understand. They really
it's infuriating.
Yeah. It seems so easy. Maybe since they bought Beyond, they'll mix it into that.
Was that a purchase?
Yeah, they bought Beyond. Yeah, they just like a week or two ago. Yeah.
Oh wait, so that wasn't a Wizards thing?
No, I was shocked when they said they bought it. I thought it was. Beyond was actually designed in partnership, but it wasn't owned by them. There was some other company, and Wizards bought it and said, okay, we're gonna take this over and sell it. So
oh my god,
we'll see what happens.
Well, a lot of people are hoping that we'll all integrate more smoothly now. What do you think, Stan?
I mean, there's a lot that they can leverage there. I really honestly thought that Wizards owned, D&D Beyond day one. When they made the announcement.
Shocking.
I mean, it makes sense that they had a different development company kind of do all the heavy lifting, but I assumed they had much more ownership over the product than they really did.
Yeah, I was shocked once they announced. I didn't realize, and it's interesting. I mean, now people are hoping that if you buy the hard copy, you get the PDF, and they won't do that. I mean, that's money that people are spending the money on Beyond, so they're going to keep doing it. It's just another revenue source for them.
All right, convention calendar. Last time we got to see Gen Con, right? I believe.
Yeah.
Which was held in Kenosha or some nonsense.
Hey, I went to it in Kenosha.
Did you?
Yeah, I was at the University of Parkside.
Could have been it.
Yeah. I'm that old. Before it was at Mecca.
Well, there you are. This time around we have a historical war game weekend. Awesome. Council of Nations. Wargaming weekend. EarthCon. Or Necronomicon.
Guest of honors Larry Niven and Andrew Norton. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. I love Unicon, which is clearly run by some college student.
For sure.
If you want more information, send it to John at the student center.
Yep. Good for them. Yeah. Fantasy Fair. All right, monster in the middle. Who solved the crossword?
Good puzzle.
Anybody?
I did not, but
I looked up the
Googled
answers.
the guy that made this puzzle, and he's got a lot of game design to his name.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's running a gaming company with James Ernest downtown.
Cool. And now we're in the comics section. We got Dragon Mirth. You a big fan of Dragon Mirth?
Super hit and miss.
Yeah. E.B. Wagner's got a little bit of a cartoon for us.
Wait. That crossword was Mike Sillinger. He was like behind like Pathfinder Adventure card game. He's big in games now. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw it, I knew the name, and I was like, oh man, he was
and it all
really
started with a crossword.
Yeah, that's where he comes from.
89 across.
That's a hell of a crossword too. That's no
good,
tiny crossword.
3-letter word, blank Partha.
All right, we talked about Wormy last time and how much we love Wormy, but we can't explain why.
They paid extra to be in the crossword.
Yeah, exactly.
they
were obligated. They were obligated to be included.
Yeah. We all love Wormy. We don't know why we love Wormy.
Because it was amazingly illustrated and had fantastic characterization about the humanoids back when people thought these creatures were just cannon fodder.
How embarrassed should I be for my love of Snark Quest?
Very.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think the artwork reminds me of ElfQuest.
Yeah.
The story a little lacking, but
yeah, the story is lacking. Is this the start of Jar Jar Binks?
I was thinking that too.
It kind of is, isn't it? Like, is there a direct line? Can we draw?
I keep Elmore on a higher shelf than that.
Yeah.
I do.
Higher than George Lucas.
Don't go there, man. Ahmad Best had better show up in one of these Disney shows as a different character and redeem his career.
He already has. Yeah.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Who else does he play?
I don't want to say. I know he's a Jedi in like a competition show where like Jedi trainees like have to go through an obstacle course.
What?
And that's good, right?
I don't know what you're talking about, and it sounds you're giving me the feelings that maybe I don't want to know.
Star Wars parkour.
It kind of is, yeah. It's kind of like a it's kids going on an obstacle course, having to go through a few challenges that are Jedi based.
American Jedi warrior.
Yep, exactly. And they have teams, and Ahmed Best is the Jedi that helps them through.
Well, he doesn't do the voice, does he? He's got like a normal voice, right?
Yeah, of
right.
course.
There you go.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Yeah, he is a different character. I'm bringing that up. Although it's not like in a movie or anything, or even in a cartoon that's meaningful. It's in this game show. Oh, sorry. The forum is continued from page 6. What did they bury at the back of here as far as letters?
David Nally's
Yeah.
complaint about challenge tomorrow.
And they continue out on a limb from page 4.
Oh, but David Nolly, he's with Ragnarok Enterprises. He's actually talking. What's TC3? Oh, to challenge tomorrow.
He's responding to some criticism of one of their
Yeah.
adventures. It looks like.
Yep. No one knows about West End Games bug-eyed monsters. Any
That is
insights?
No, this game.
That's absolutely not true. This is by Greg Koik. What do you say his last name? Koikian? Kostikian? I mean, he's the guy that created Paranoia. He's the guy that created Star Wars, the role-playing game. I mean,
you ever encountered this? Do you know this?
I am very, very familiar with the predecessor to this game called The Creature That Ate Sheboygan.
Yeah.
And that was the game that got me into Dungeons and Dragons.
What?
Mm-hmm. Friend of mine had Creature That Ate Sheboygan. I'm like, this game is fantastic. What
I
other
lived in
games are there
Sheboygan.
like there? Yes.
Sure.
And we went to the hobby shop, and at the hobby shop, they had this game called Dungeons and Dragons sitting next to Creature That Ate Sheboygan. It was at the mall. Hobby Horse, across from Woolworths in the mall.
Woolworths, yeah. Then
Wow.
the dime store.
What a world it
Middle
would
Earth-
be if we were all playing the 5th edition of Creature 8, that Sheboygan, instead of Dungeons and Dragons.
Hey, let's look in on the rights on that.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure that we can put together a fun game and call it the Creature That Ate Sheboygan. Middle Earth role playing. My favorite game ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I could like go through the adventures and delve the like resources and like cross-reference the various Tolkien books and and it had beautiful maps and art. And
New version coming out.
it had a very complex series of charts that you had to cross-reference. It kind of got me into
You
the
and your
entire
love of
ICE.
charts.
Yeah, and because it's ICE. It's the people who brought you, Rollmaster.
Accounting.
Yeah, Rollmaster, the accountancy rule books. Now, if only I can combine that with that series of cards where you don't have to roll. Be great. We'll call it the Creature That Ate Sheboygan. Come on!
The accountants that ate Sheboygan.
All right, well, that's a issue 89, 1984, August, I believe, right? All right.
Back to school.
Thereabouts, yeah. Overall, a good issue, better than last time. Less problems and more meaningful and useful content. Still,
I thought it was a solid. It was a solid issue.
and they filled like 90 pages, and only half of it was Rel Park ads.
Just imagine like the guy in the advertising department who his commission is based on Raw Park. Like that was his main client, man. He was like taking those guys out to dinner. He was just like, hey, do you guys want to buy a fifth ad this edition? I'll give you a 20% discount.
Well, I mean, keep in mind what they say about the gaming industry was true back then as it probably was today. There's dozens, I swear, dozens of dollars waiting to be made.
It's true.
I heard a few years ago, I was at a con up in Connecticut, and there was one of the writers for Adventures League there. He actually said that to a group who was asking about writing for Adventures League, and he's like, well, I got to tell you, literally, there are dozens of dollars to be made.
Yeah. I kind of want to end this on something that I'll share, and maybe it'll make the cut or not. But there's a kids show on BBC that is Hacker the Dog, If you look up Hacker the Dog on YouTube, maybe that's the best way to leave it. He has a abrasive style. There's some fantastic bloopers and fails that you can watch of Hacker the Dog as the puppet. But my best and most favorite part is that he calls his fans, the kids that watch him and whatnot, anyone really, adults around him, cockers. That's his favorite one, is to call everyone cocker. And he does it with zest. So it's a dog puppet that blurts out cockers to children at the BBC. Anybody else got anything to say before we go?
I think you nailed it.
Yep.
You stuck the landing.
All right.
Thank you.
So next time I'll try to get.
Take care, all you cockers in the crowd.
There you are. Thank you. That's what I was looking for. That's all I wanted. So I'll try to look for issue 90 on eBay or whatever. If anyone wants to send one to me and tell me that they have it, all the more power to us. But I'll see what's available. If it's over $20, I'm gonna just text everyone saying maybe we skip an issue. All right.
If we have to skip an issue, I'm sure we can still pick up the story with issue 91.
Exactly. Yeah, we'll work it out. All right. Thanks. This was great. Talk to you guys soon.
Yeah. Bye.
Good night.